I'm in my zone.
Hey, this is Zara, ReviewZoneHD, and I'm bringing you as a review for Special Forces Team X for the Xbox 360. It's also available for the PC. This title won 2 awards from G4 at Gamescom last July, including Best Surprise Reveal and Best Shooter. It was developed by Zombie Studios, which created the Blacklight series, and while I'm personally not familiar with those games, I am very well schooled in the art of third-person shooters for the console, although it may be kind of hard to tell from my questionable aim in this video. But character movement and gunfight do go down very similar to what was seen in SOCOM 4 or the Uncharted series. One of my subscribers commented that it looks like a cartoon SOCOM. But let's start this review off discussing the issues first. The one that stands out like a train wreck actually happened during my second ever online game, in which I spawned a few times stuck inside of this area that I'm showing you here in the video, with the only option to either grenade myself or wait for an enemy to come shoot me. It's very important to mention and to understand this only happened on this specific map in this specific spawn point. It seemed like the rest of the time that I played today, people were avoiding picking this map as their home base, probably because of this issue, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not going to happen frequently. The spawning system worked extremely well 95% of the time, but the other 5% was kind of iffy, as the game seemed to enjoy spawning me faced into a wall on occasion as well. Next issue I ran across was when I cut the game back on tonight. For some odd reason, I went from being level 7 all the way back down to level 1 with no experience and had to start all over. But I still had a level 4 weapon equipped, as you can see right here. I can't explain it. I have no idea what happened. It appears as if it just erased my profile. I couldn't find a lot of information or a forum discussing this game, so I'm not sure if this is just a rare freak occurrence or something that's been happening to a lot of others. I do know there were a lot of people running around with high level weapons, so it's not affecting everyone. The game's only been out a couple days, so I'll have to cut them a little bit of slack on that issue, but if you are planning on purchasing this title, that's something you might want to keep in mind. Maybe ask some friends, check a forum, do a little bit of research to find out if that's a big issue or not. Now, the next bit of negativity isn't really a technical issue, more or less a gripe, but I absolutely positively could not find anywhere on this game that shows your career kill to death stats. There's a large section titled career that shows your kills with each weapon and progress for ranking up, but not the tried and true simple stat screen that shows your wins, losses, kills, deaths, and assists. Now, some of you may not care about that, but that's kind of something that's just expected with an online shooter. I was surprised that I couldn't find it on here. Now that all that's out of the way, let's go ahead and discuss the more positive things about the game. The most fascinating feature has to be the maps and how they're built in between the matches to create over 100 different combinations for the battlefield. And after spending a couple hours on here, I did begin to learn the general layouts for all of the tiles, but when you're running through the entire map, they come together seamlessly, everything connects together well. I never noticed any issue with the designs or the routes, regardless of what tile pieces were put together. And the size of the maps were perfect, not too big, not too small, and enough room to actually maneuver and get around and sneak up on people. And the controls are pretty sharp. Even the sniper rifle felt pretty good with a high sensitivity turned up. The level 4 rifle was a 2-shot kill, so I didn't use it for too long, but I would assume the level 40 bolt action rifle is a 1-shot kill, but that's just a guess. Now, there is a bit of an adjustment just getting used to the speed change when switching between the zoomed in aimed mode with any of the weapons and then back to hip fire. But I did see plenty of people tearing it up tonight, so there's a lot of skill involved on here. Everyone has a good bit of health, so unless you have a high damage weapon, even dropping most of an entire clip of an automatic into someone doesn't always guarantee a kill. It's pretty close to what's seen in Uncharted. It's not as hardcore as the old SOCOM titles, in which a gun battle was usually won with the first few bullets. The only issue I really came across with hit detection was the headshots didn't seem to register sometimes, even when I was clearly on top of someone, just ripping into the back of their head or across their face. And it can be frustrating, but it didn't happen enough to ruin the experience. Most matches ran pretty smoothly during my 3 hours of testing today. There were plenty of people playing on the server. I never had a hard time getting into a match. There was plenty to choose from, and I only saw a couple glimpses of lag, and for a budget title to run this good out of the gate on day 1, day 2 speaks volumes of what kind of potential it has. Even big budget shooters are 50-50 during the first week of release when it comes to server stability and lag, so it was pretty nice to see this game running this well on day 1. And there's 5 different modes to play in, with up to 4 teams battling it out in each match. I only tested out Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, and the King of the Hill mode tonight. All 3 ran really well with little wait time once you hit the lobby. Everything gets sorted out really quickly. Once in the lobby, you can select between the different pieces of gear, weapons, and perks that I showed a little bit earlier in the video. As far as pricing goes, as of today, it's 1,200 Microsoft points or $15 if you're picking it up off Steam. The market's flooded with first-person shooters, but in my opinion, there's not a lot of good third-person shooters out there, and while this most likely won't keep your attention for months on end, it is a lot of fun to play in bursts. It's not a must-have, must-buy title, but if you're itching to do some third-person shooting, this is a pretty good budget option. Anyways, this is Zero at ReviewZoneHD, and thanks for stopping by.